Welcome to Read Aloud Time. Here are some of our friends from the story. Can you guess what the mice are doing in the beautiful orchard? Hi, friends. Wasn't that music so soothing and nice? Showing our beautiful apple orchard where the cute little mice picking their apples. Now it's time for our second half of our story. The title is The Biggest Apple Ever. Front cover, back cover, and spine. The author's name is Stephen Kroll and illustrated by Jenny Bassett. But first, let's do our vocabulary words. Now remember, these words are in our story. Pie. Tiny, tiny. Orchard. You see the apples in those trees? Grin. Can you make a grin? Huge. That's another word for big or enormous or humongous. And apple. So here we go, my friends. We're going to read our second half. Remember we stopped on this page? I'm going to reread this for you. At the orchard, Mrs. Mousley pointed out the different kinds of apples. Then everyone disappeared into the trees, looking for a winner. Clayton walked down one row, craning his neck. Remember, he was hurting his neck because he kept looking up. Desmond walked down another row, craning his neck. Ouch! Then Clayton saw what he thought was a really big apple. It was little too high to reach, but he stretched and he stretched. At that moment, Desmond saw the very same apple on the very same branch. He stretched for it too. They bumped heads and fell down. I think we should bring this apple in together, said Clayton. No one said we couldn't, said Desmond. Oh, good, they're using teamwork. That's good friendship. But when they got back to the bus, James had an apple that was even bigger. The apple was so big, he could hardly carry it. So he's like this. Oh. Clayton and Desmond looked at each other. What would they do now? Oh my goodness. That was a heavy apple. You see him right here? Wait, where is he at? I think that's him right there. That night at dinner, Clayton explained the problem to his dad. Said his dad. Apples don't come in too many sizes. Do you think you'll find a bigger one? I don't know, said Clayton. Then maybe James will win the prize this time. It's okay if he does. Over at Desmond's house, Uncle Vernon said exactly the same thing. So not everybody could win. But Clayton and Desmond were still determined. That means they didn't want to give up. The next afternoon, they met at Barnaby's orchard. They picked 2 huge baskets of apples, but nothing they found was bigger than apple James had picked. You know, Clayton said, I think Dad was right. This time James gets to win. But we've got all these apples. Why don't we bake an apple pie? Desmond laughed. Great! Let's bake the biggest apple pie ever, and we'll make it for our class. Clayton nodded. I think I know where I can find a pie pan that's big enough for our apple pie. That sounds yummy. I like it with vanilla ice cream on top. The following afternoon, Desmond arrived at Clayton's house with Uncle Vernon. Everything's packed up and ready, Clayton said. It's all in Dad's truck. But where are we going? Desmond asked. You'll find out in a minute, said Clayton. I wonder where they're going. Miss Mary, where do you think they're going?
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Miss Mary, look at the truck. It's full of apples.
Many apples.
Many, many apples. Dad drove with Clayton and Desmond beside him in the front seat. Uncle Vernon stayed in back with the apples and other ingredients for the giant pie. As they came around the corner, Desmond gasped, "Tony's Pizza?" "Of course," said Clayton. "What could be better than a giant pizza pan?" Miss Mary, do you like pizza too?
A lot.
Me too. Mr. Tony greeted them at the door. "Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are ready to begin." And so they got to work making the dough for the crust, kneading it, rolling out half into a big circle, and spreading it over a deep dish pan. Then everyone peeled and sliced the apples, mixed them together, sugar and spices, and spread the rest of the dough on top. "Wow," said Clayton and Desmond when they were finished. "Wow, wow, wow." "An hour," said Mr. Tony. "Give me an hour." The giant pie just fit in the huge oven. Look at, there's the oven. Look at, there's a pan, Miss Mary. Do you see it?
Yes.
Oh, look at Miss Mary. They're working down here. They're peeling the apples here.
They're working as a team.
Yes, they are. The next day, Friday, who would have the largest apple? James, of course. And Mr. Mouser handed him the prize and a cheddar cheese apple. Mrs. Mousy looked surprised. "Clayton, Desmond, nothing from you?" The two of them grinned. And at the same moment, the classroom door flew open. In came Clayton's dad, Uncle Vernon, and Mr. Tony, struggling to carry the giant pie by themselves. So they were like this, because it was heavy. It was a giant pie. What kind of pie, Miss Mary?
Apple.
Apple. Let's see. Oh, look at, see, there's a pie. Do you see the pie, my friends? "How wonderful," said Mrs. Mousley. "That's the biggest apple pie ever. We made it for the whole class," said Clayton. "All of us together," said Desmond. They shared a high five, and everyone in the class had a very big slice. Yummy, yummy. The end. Wasn't that a yummy, delicious story, my friends? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a beautiful, wonderful, happy day. And don't forget, have fun being you.